What's up, guys? This weekend we got this Mustang in here. It's already wrapped in Tech Wrap True Blood. It's from out of town. Before I get into why it's here, I just want to real quick go over why we make these videos. So it's just about customer awareness. It has nothing to do with like who did it or anything like that. It's just in the car scene, whether it's maintenance, mechanical, like having your car wrapped, detailed, tuning or anything like that. There's only so much you can know about it, and a lot of times you're at the mercy of the shop. So this is just for awareness. Like if I wanted to get like the Lambo twin turboed or something like that, and I was going to go to underground racing, I don't know how to fucking twin turbo a Lambo, and I could do a little bit of research as best as possible, but unfortunately I'd still be at the mercy of whoever did it. So this is just for awareness about the wrap, whether you're thinking about getting your car wrapped down the line, or you're wrapping cars and you want to start charging people, like, and you want to know, like, you know, what's decent to, what's the standard that you should try to meet. That's all it's about. It has nothing to do with who wrapped it. We don't care about that drama. I'd never tag anybody in it or anything like that. And if you're watching this and this isn't your car, because the only one it matters to is the customer's car. If you're watching this and your life is just so empty that you have nothing better to do than start instigating and finding out, oh, who did it, and like, I'm gonna go fucking tag this person and this and that. Like, if your life is that empty, fill it with a hobby. Like, start wrapping cars, do something. But yeah, so this customer hit me up, I want to say back in like November, and he said like, hey, I just got my car wrapped, not happy with it, and I want to have it redone. So first thing I always ask people when they say something like that is, did you reach out to the place that did it about fixing it, and send me some pictures of what you're not happy with, because maybe, you know, he's just so OCD and there's like some little corner that's not perfect or something like that, or it's just completely destroyed. So he sent me some pictures of it, said he didn't want to deal with the place that did it anymore, and when I show you guys why, you'll probably understand. So I was just like, oh yeah, that needs to be redone. And nobody's perfect. Like, I'm going to show you when I do the walk around on that. I'm going to show you some stuff on the Lambo that, like, little imperfections. Nobody's perfect. We're not perfect. And the difference kind of between the two. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, this was back in like November, December. I told him, I was like, hey, I can't get you on the calendar until like February or March. He's like, that's fine. I'll rock the color for a little bit. And you know, you see from back here, like, it looks good. And I kind of want to highlight that too. Like, if a place is only posting pictures from like 10 feet away like this, then you can't tell anything from that. Like, this looks good from right here. And if that's all that they're posting, like, you got to see stuff in person. If they have up close pictures, go talk to people that had a wrap done. Ask for referrals and stuff like that. Before I had my car wrapped, if a customer was just like, hey, I want to see something get done, I try to get a customer that had a car done like a year or two ago and be like, hey, can you stop by? I got somebody that wants to look at a car that I've done. So try to do that stuff. And if they won't do it, like, walk away. Find somebody that'll show you something that was done. So yeah, I'm gonna flip the camera around and do a walk around on this and get into the details of why this is here. All right, so like you guys can see from here, this thing looks pretty awesome. And before I get into the details and show you everything on it, go over some little imperfections in the Lambo. Like I said, nobody's perfect. There's always going to be somebody that's like a little bit better. So let's see, on these corners, like, there's that little pinch in there. Those ones are good. So the mirror, I know the mirror vibrates or shakes a little bit. On this side, it started to push the wrap up a little bit. Like, the paint was all rubbed off, like, underneath of this. But those little pinches in there, not too worried about that stuff. So a little pinch back under there. So parking sensors, I did the parking sensors two different ways. I did the ones on the front, I took them out, and the rubber seal is so tight in there, it's like pushing, it's pushing the wrap out of it. There's just no room for the wrap and the rubber seal, but it doesn't look perfect that way. And then in the back, I did the opposite, and I didn't take them out. I just wrapped over. You can see it's not, it doesn't stick to the rubber. It's staying like in the actual thing. It's just not sticking to the rubber. So neither way looks perfect. I don't really mind either of them. But yeah, like I said, no wrap is gonna be perfect. I'm sure there's some shops out there that'll be like, oh shit, our shit's perfect. And there's definitely people that are better. But there's different levels of imperfections. Everything on that one looks pretty good. There's two little pinches on the back of this corner. So like, you can kind of see, I got two little pinches popping up right there. So like I said, nobody's perfect. But now I'm gonna get into this and show you why it's here to get rewrapped. All right, so we'll start with the bumper. One, little patches like this are completely unacceptable. That could be done in one piece. No reason that there should be a patch there. We got a bunch of patches up in there. We got a little patch right there. This whole thing is like, and it just looks sloppy. It's just not cut right. It's like cut by hand. So like if there were some imperfections on these corners, like even big ones like that, I'd still probably just tell the dude like, hey, you know, that's fine. It's not gonna be perfect. So this side's really bad. I had to preview this side in my stories. So they didn't even wrap up in here. It's complete, and they got kind of lucky because this is a dark car. Like if it was a yellow car like mine, like that would be so obvious that that wasn't wrapped. And then down here, more of the same, patch, patch, patch. This is completely lifting. And then in places that it's not even like really necessary, there's like this patch here, whole bunch of pinching in here, patch right here on this corner. Like I said, if it was just like, okay, this is coming off, it's not tucked a little bit, like that wouldn't be that bad. So that was a lot of the stuff that I saw on the bumper and just everywhere. Like there's just these jagged, unclean cuts where nothing's cut, where nothing's tucked. So both the little door cups are lifting. So both the door cups are coming out of here. And this is on both sides where they didn't even do the pillar as the same piece. There's like this whole seam in here that they did the pillar and the quarter panel in a completely different piece. And it's just, it's easier, I guess. If you do it right, you're not even saving any material because you do that whole side of the car is like one piece anyway. You're not going to save any material. I don't know why. And then again, if this was a yellow car, that's all paint. Like there's just this jagged, uneven cut that goes around the edge. So there's no seal on these Mustangs by the window. makes it a little trickier. Like I said, they got away with it because it's a dark colored car. But yeah, that's all paint that's down in there. Back bumper's a lot of the same, just a bunch of patches and different pieces. Whole bunch of stuff like that. I think this side of the roof had something that was really bad. Yeah, so roof is wrapped black, and there's just like, I don't know if like the patch fell off. Maybe they tried to cover that and it just fell off. But also the way that this is cut, it makes me think it was done with a knife. It's just really uneven and sloppy. So hopefully all they got was a shitty wrap, and when we take this off, this isn't really cut too bad. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so like I said, these door cups are all bubbling out. This door handle's not even on right. Like you can see, like this is not lined up right. So we'll see what happens when we start taking that apart. But yeah, I think that's like most of the big stuff. I mean, the whole car just has like craziness. Like this corner is not even wrapped. It's coming off everywhere. Like I said, that's not even on anything. So yeah, we're gonna get this taken off and get it rewrapped. So yeah, you guys can see, even though it looks good from back here, once we got up close, you can see everything that's wrong with it, unfortunately. But yeah, we're gonna get this taken off and get the new color on there, and we'll do some videos and stuff of that. And then again, it's just about the car. We don't care who did it or anything. That's between the customer and them. So if you do know, don't tag them in the comments or anything. Don't instigate. There's no room for it. And one thing I did forget to say, like, don't get wrapped up in like the hype of where something's done. This was done like out of town, big city, big professional shop, and you know, here Fayetteville, idiot in his garage. And it could go the other way. You could have, you know, there's plenty of the big professional shops that do amazing work, and there's plenty of people that just do it in their garage and it looks like shit. So it goes both ways. So I'm just trying to say, like, do your research. Don't get caught up in one way or the other. Don't dismiss somebody because they're just doing it in their garage or whatever like that. And don't automatically assume that if you go to like a big city, big time shop, that you're gonna get good work, because that's not what you should be worried about. Don't get caught up in that. Like I said before, see cars that they did, see up close pictures, and do your research like that. And it is like a fucking 100 degrees in here. It's gonna make taking that off easier, but even with the heaters and stuff like that, I took this around the block and like it instantly gets the garage to like 100 degrees. So I gotta get this off before I pass out and get some videos of the wrap. All right, old wrap's off, car's disassembled, prepped. Old color came off pretty easy. I was only on there for 3 months and it was already kind of half falling off on its own. This car was not prepped properly. Half the stuff wasn't removed. I clayed it and there was still dirt underneath coming off, so it wasn't prepped. That was half of why that wrap looked like crap. And like I said, this is a big city professional shop that did it. And I know sometimes, like I was talking in the last video, people automatically think like, oh, big shop versus somebody in their garage wrapping, gonna go with the big shop. But like I said, you can't go off of that. You got to see the work. A big shop, what happened with this? This was a rush job. This was all about money. They just want to make money, get the car in, get the car out, get the next car in, get the next car out. And it's just a numbers game to this, where you got people that do it in their garage and they're not doing it for the money. I don't, the money's nice. Do I need it? No, I got money from other stuff. We do it because we like doing it. We take pride and we're passionate about doing it. Where somebody that just literally does it for a 9 to 5 and a business, they're gonna pump shit out like this and they really don't care. So yeah, like the front bumper and the back bumper were not taken off before you could tell. That's why it was like so many pieces, nothing was tucked, it was right to the edge. I'm gonna swing the camera around. But all that stuff, that's not even like the biggest problem. The biggest problem is this car was cut up. And I always say that, you know, the bad wrap isn't the biggest deal. Like, yep, so that was like where the red and then the black, like for the roof, they didn't knifeless tape this again, they just rushed it. And again, just sloppiness. That's cut, that's permanent, that's in the metal, that's gonna corrode eventually. There's a really bad one down here on the plastic. That is a cut mark. And it's on like this easy little side skirt. The only reason they did it was they probably messed up the material and just patched it and then just cut right on it. Like, you could feel that with my finger. Same thing in here. There was cut marks in here. Yep, there's one right there. It's not gonna focus, but yeah, you can kind of see it. And again, they just rushed everything. They didn't take any time to do anything right. It was real quick, in and out, sloppy. And this shit pisses me off because this makes people scared to get a wrap. Like, somebody gets this and then they take, like, they don't even have to say who did it. They could just be like, oh, my buddy got his car wrapped and they cut the shit all up and it was damaged and everything. Don't get your car wrapped. And it's shit like this. So this affects everybody. So yeah, we got everything disassembled. Let's see, the clay. So you can see, like, that's how much dirt and trash was still in the paint, even though the wrap pulled half the dirt off too. So there was a couple bolts missing. I don't know if they did it for the stuff they took off. Door handles weren't even on right. But yeah, there was other cut marks and stuff. I'm not gonna go into all of them. They all pretty much look the same. But we got it all disassembled and prepped and ready to get the new color on.